everybody, and welcome to Automobilista 2. This is a game from Ritza Studios. If you didn't know, they did make, of course, Automobilista 1, as well as a couple of stock car Brazil-type games, as they are a Brazilian studio. They recently released for Automobilista 2 their Formula 1 2022 car, the Formula Ultimate. And, of course, people have already made mods to have the F1 2022 season in it. So we're going to hop in today in a 7-lap race around Monaco, driving the McLaren, starting in P10, to give it a try in what I think is, without a doubt, the best representation of the 2022 car so far. And we'll see how far Codemasters needs to go, or if it's even worth comparing to the Codemasters games. Alright, so on the grid, rev up the engine, lights out, and away we go. A fantastic start from us. We get down to the inside here for turn 1, because I didn't want somebody getting underneath us there. 3 wide behind us, but we'll stay in P10 for now as we climb up the hill for the first time in what is a short race. Luckily, the brakes are preheated for us, as if we did a formation lap. In practice, they don't do that, so it's a nice touch to see that they added what is essentially a false formation lap as we get down to the inside of Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri, but he's coming back down our inside into the hairpin. Still side by side. Looks like we're going to finally clear him on the exit there. So we get ready to run under the casino for the first time. Now, if you look in the bottom right, there is ERS on this car. I currently have it set to automatic. There are a couple modes. There's automatic off, then the regen mode, and then a standard attack mode, and a qualifying mode. You can use the qualifying mode in the race, however. It's not something that Ritza Studios disabled for this car. So we head through the final corner here. Complete lap number 1. We're now behind Fernando Alonso. We look to the outside in turn 1, make contact with the Haas. And we do have some wing damage. You can see in the bottom right. However, it doesn't appear to be affecting us too much. So that is the thing with the AI. Now, traditionally in games that aren't F1, AI is not very well programmed for Monaco. But this is actually probably one of the best examples of AI at Monaco, or one of the better programmings of it. However, much like is the case with this game, in terms of any car-track combination, there are certain corners where the AI seems to be faster and slower. So it can be hard to get it right with the AI tuning. For reference, the AI is set to 90% with 50% aggression. Ooh, got a little light there by touching the curb. But I gotta tell you, this is without a doubt not only one of the best Formula 1 cars that a studio has ever put out, but honest to God, one of my favorite cars ever already, and it's only been out a short amount of time. I have done so much hot lapping in this car already. Every time I drive this car, I have a smile on my face, whether I'm setting fast times or flying off into the gravel from pushing too hard. And it's because Ritza Studios are physics kings. You know, this is using the Slightly Madness engine, this game. And some people were worried when AMS2 was announced to be using this engine, because we saw how, not great the Project Cars games were. However, I had a feeling it was mostly based on Slightly Mad Studios and not the engine itself. And Ritza Studios is proving that. This is one of the best engines, I think, for racing games in terms of just how good it looks. The weather is absolutely fantastic in this engine. And I think the possibilities. And we're seeing that if you have a studio that knows what they're doing with the physics, that knows what they're doing in terms of content creation, that you can have a fantastic game. And we have this right here. DRS here. Wing damage starting to hurt us a little. You can see we bounced off the walls a couple times. The damage is on simulation. Honestly, I should have turned it off because we're at Monaco and I should have known better, but no lack of better judgment here as we continue to chase down George Russell on what is now lap 4 of 7. So, oh, get a little slide there. Now, as you've noticed, I do have the ERS set to auto. I think it's just probably the best right now, especially at a track like Monaco. For me, I don't need to be messing with that. Especially if you're someone like me who's so used to the Formula 1 games where you have a button instead. It's not like that on this car. It is just the dial like you have in iRacing. So, whoa, a little loose there on the exit of the chicane. But yeah, it's just unbelievable how fast people got to work on creating content for this mod. Not only creating the AI, but putting the drivers in there, proper skill sets. Of course, it's not perfect. You know, because we did see Mick Schumacher a little bit higher than he would be, but for the most part, a lot of it's right. You know, it's a little hard because, you know, the car being the same car for everything, it's a little more equal. So you get stuff like Lewis Hamilton in second place because, yeah, he's one of the higher ranked drivers in the series. However, the car is what's letting him down this season, so a little more tweaking needed for that, but it's definitely got some of the stuff right, like having Max Verstappen up front. Need Charles Leclerc to be up there too, which he is, which is good. So we just touched the back there of George Russell. Now, if you noticed on the start screen, it said I had a British flag. I think the reason for that is I chose Lando's livery. And Lando is in the race, so technically I'm Daniel Ricciardo, but I think that's where it got it from. I might be wrong about that. Might just be I have to change the flag manually and just haven't done that yet. I'll tell you what, this is without a doubt some of the most fun I've ever had is driving this car. If Codemasters can get this down even just a little, I think this is going to be one of the best games ever because this car, to me, is way more fun to drive than even, you know, because they have their 2021 car as well, Ritza Studios. And just this car compared to 2021 is so much more fun to drive. So really hope this is how, or similar to how we'll feel in the Codemasters games, because this is just an absolute blast. And I think a lot of people are going to be thrilled with F1 2022 this year, hopefully. And again, if anything like this, it will be. But if you have AMS2, or if you don't have it but do have a PC, highly recommend picking it up. I believe this was a free add-on. I know some of the stuff like the old Indy cars are paid DLC, but I believe this was free DLC. So as long as you have the game, you'll be able to do this car. Not a ton of Formula 1 tracks, but a good amount. We got Monaco, obviously. Imola, Red Bull Ring, Spa, Montreal. I'm sure I'm missing some, but some old ones too, like Brands Hatch, Jerez. I think Silverstone's in the game, but I don't 100% know. Ooh, really squirrely there. As we start the final lap, let's see if we can get George. But I think this is, you know, last year I think was a big boost for AMS2, adding the USA DLC with the old Indy cars, and I think it's just going to continue to get better as they add content like this and continue to just blow everyone in the sim racing community away. AMS2 was popular, but I don't think it got enough recognition because it was on the older R Factor 1 engine. So really hoping they get the recognition they deserve with this, and who knows, maybe we could even get a console port of this game, since we do know this engine is console friendly because of the Project Cars games. But I'm really glad to see Ritza made this engine work and created one of my favorite sims, and it's still in its early days, so who knows where it'll go from here. Go lap traffic in front of us with the Aston Martin. It's Lance Stroll. Got a bit of a train. You can see the AI don't quite know how to handle it. However, it is Monaco, so we'll give him a pass there. But I'm going to cross the line P7 as we start our cooldown lap. One of the other things I love about this game that I wish we could get in games like F1 is, getting the cooldown lap, getting, the more authentic racing experience. And it sounds like we might be getting some of that stuff this year, but we're also doing some weird My Life thing, which will be interesting to see exactly what that is. So, relatively realistic-ish in terms of the results. Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, then us. Schumacher, a little too high. Fernando Alonso, a little higher than I think he's been running so far this season. But Tsunoda rounds out the points. Yeah, if you enjoyed watching this race or you want to see more AMS2, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more, because I would definitely love to do more AMS2 videos. It is such a great game. Might try start doing some of the multiplayer. I've only personally ever done the single player stuff, but it is good for that, and it's great for hot lapping too. But if you maybe want to see some multiplayer stuff, let me know. Let me know what you want to see from AMS2, or if you have any mod suggestions. Of course, drop those down below in the comments as well. Always looking for more stuff for AMS2 as the AlphaTauri hits the pit wall as we come to the pit lane. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!